Your mother has started catching me up on how the vineyards have been going since we left. The harvest was better than expected. That is good news, of course, but it also means we have a problem. One of our grapes produced a particularly good wine. It's an opulent vintage with a smooth finish. Quite frankly, Domina, it is one of the best wines I have ever tasted. Oh, but I do. And you know I've tasted a lot of excellent wines throughout my life. This wine ranks among the best of the best. Winemaking is not an exact science. We do follow recipes, but we are subject to the whims of Dionysus. Every now and then he favors you, and you may produce a wine of this caliber. It means the wine has a rich and smooth taste. An opulent wine is a bold wine. Do not worry. Wine terminology can be weird and obscure. You will get used to it in time. The question is what we shall do with this wine. It's certainly worth more than what we normally sell for. It's the best kind of problem to have. It might be a good idea to visit some of the merchants in the market. Before you leave, there's a small thing we have to decide. A good wine deserves a good name. What should we name this one? How about Endless Mirth? That's a good name. Very well. That being settled, you should go and talk to the wine merchants. I had no doubts. You've made everyone proud, and this victory is cause for celebration. I shall cook today. Our legal system has its own intricacies, which no one but people like Kikaro understand. I'm sure the powers that be worked their magic. I don't know, it's your house. Sit back and relax and let your Sir We handle things. Do bear in mind that managing an estate is no simple task, though. Now that your father is no longer with us, you will have to find a way to generate income. I think we should focus on the wine business. There used to be a lot of money in your vineyards.
Excuse me.
How is it? You don't like the dress? Is it normal in Rome for important people to make such shameless advances on their guards? Is good we are not normal, then? In some ways it is. In others, it is not. City is big. I have never seen anything like it. And there are so many things to buy, so many different people. I love that. But there is a strange way people talk to me. Not because I am foreign, I think, but because I am woman. That I don't like. I would like that, if it is fine with you. This villa is amazing. So many statues and fancy carpets. I love your garden. It's so lush and green. And trickle of fountain calms me down.
I'm so glad to be rid of those lictors.
Are you going to feed the horses?
I am. Is there something I should know?
Don't walk behind the grey mare. A few weeks ago,
Free medical advice. Salve legate. Are you looking for medical supplies? The world may be large, but Rome is smaller than you'd think in some ways. People talk, and you are mildly famous. Tell me what you need, and I shall provide you with everything. Every healer I know dreams of going to war with the legions. But bones do not only break in battle. Life in Rome can sometimes be a battlefield. I do not charge for the act of healing. I charge for the items I use. My potions and bandages do not come cheap. It would have been fortuitous if the gods simply granted such materials. But healing is the art of mortal hands, and mortal hands need denarii. I have some linen I can spare. You could buy some if you want to make bandages. This bottle could also prove to be interesting for you. It's a concoction that works against the effects of many poisons. The machinations of the senatorial class can occasionally turn very bitter indeed. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Good. You should make sure to consult a trained healer in mixing this, however. The wrong application could turn ugly. Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Thank you. Let us hope you'll never have need of them.
News from Greece! The army of Consul Lucius Licinius...
Special discount our way. What brings you to the land of wine today? If wine is what you seek, you have come to the right place. My wine is much better than those of Marcellus Vipsanius. That's what I call it. This area of the market belongs to the Collegium Venariorum. We are an association of all the wine merchants in Rome. Oh, indeed. I recognize you now. Welcome to my stall, then. Are you looking to sell? He prioritizes customer satisfaction at the cost of morality and the law. He lies, cheats, and threatens. In the end, he acquires the best vintages. Some of us do, but many of us purchase wine from vineyards and sell it here at the market. I would be very interested, but the rules state that I have to call the other merchants for a tasting. We each must have an equal opportunity. Exciting! This is brilliant. Exquisite. The best wine I have tasted this year. You know, your father and my father used to trade, but I do not believe they ever achieved this level of excellence.
I do not know, Quintus. It does have a harsh finish.
I would call it nutty. It's a really good wine, though. I could sell this for years. Domino, would you consider a 5-year deal? I'm willing to buy a fifth of your stock this year, and another fifth next year, and so on. For each batch, I would offer you 1,000 denarii.
I won't risk that. Tastes change, and demands change with them. I'll pay you 3,500 denarii. Sure, it is less than you'd get from Claudius over 5 years, but I want all of this wine now.
I agree, it is a good wine. I will buy all of your stock right now, and I'll pay 4,000 denarii, more than Quintus is willing to part with. Half now, and half when I take delivery.
I am an honest trader, Legate. My father used to deal with your father before either of us was born. I will sell your wine to the best clients and pay for all of it up front.
The deal favors us both. I pay less now, and you have greater profits in the long term.
It's good money. More than what Quintus pays, and you'll get paid as soon as I take delivery. In exchange, your wine will be sold at the best tavern in Rome. It's an offer you cannot refuse. I'm sure you've made the right choice, and that you know what's good for you.
Your business acumen is impressive. I agree to your terms and revise the offer. I shall pay you 6,000 denarii over the next 5 years.
Preposterous. You can't make a deal with these fools. Mark my words, you will regret this. I give you one last chance to change your mind. You have missed out on a great business venture.
I will make the arrangements at once. You will receive the first installment soon. Fine wine from the beautiful hills of Latium.
Or is it just me?
It isn't you. The bread is getting worse. I've noticed it as well.
So you found me again. But you're a civilian now. Here you are, just another customer in my smithy.
Egypt. The conflict...
Only because you've never met any of my competitors, I'm sure. I don't suppose you're in the market for some carpentry tools?
Interest in how that country is governed.
A fine gift for this humble smith. For my service to your legion, I assume. Much obliged. Tell you what, I do have something here you might be interested in. Have you ever heard the legend of the Ankylia? Well, it just so happens I have come into possession of one of the replicas created by Numa Pompilius. Or perhaps it's the original, who knows? But you see, even a replica, ancient and storied as it is worth a small fortune. If nothing else, it's an exquisite artifact of a bygone age. Then, if you buy it from me, you should take good care of it. You are as savvy in business as you are in warfare, I see. I do have an assistant, my daughter. She is all I can afford. But today she is with her teacher learning history or Greek or some other such high-minded nonsense. The hope is if he fills her head with enough such drivel, she will find a wealthy husband so she'll never have to peddle my pots and pans again. A fair price, I should say. Very well. The Ankyle is yours. I cannot guarantee that it once belonged to a god, but you have my word that it is a good shield, and it will serve you well should you ever use it in combat.
You came! That much should be clear from the look on my face. But I really didn't expect you to appear here, of all places. My apologies for doubting your sincerity. Woman, bring us a fresh jug. My friend is still sober, and that's simply not acceptable. Now, what are we drinking to? May they drink the finest nectar in the halls of Hades. That hit the spot. Another one? I'll tell you a secret. I can always drink another one. Another! Keep it pouring! And then I said, well, what can you say in that situation? Obviously, I asked, is that really a goat? Or a sorry excuse for a tent pole? It was. I still can't help but laugh. You know what people say in Africa? Wine makes the soul come out of you. You're all right, my friend. You're all right. I'm glad you came. Friendships that develop in war don't always stand the test of peacetime. More than I could count. I've walked on so many different kinds of soil, seen so many faces, and broken so many hearts. Marcellus Vipsenius is the best. Some say he's working on the recipes of the legendary Margot himself. Others say he smuggles his wine from Carthage. An amusing notion. Should I also get a wife and make a few little brats of my own? Not me. I'm an adventurer at heart, and an adventurer never rests. Sure, life is full of pain and misery, but it's also full of beauty and wonder. You should endure the former and live for the latter. There's so much to experience still. To people like us, settling down is like death. Something you don't long for, nor expect.
Another jug, Domini.
That will be all, Soa.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you, Domina. May we perhaps retreat to a private chamber?
But I'm not, and I have no interest in going anywhere with this Serwa. Outwithered woman, what do you want?
I think I am with child. You are the father of my child. Future child. Don't you remember me, Aquilinos?
What? I don't know. I've never seen this woman in my life.
You told me you would not remember me. Afterwards. And I respected that in a way, but now I need your help. Marcellus Vipsanius doesn't like his girls giving birth. He's a cruel man. I remember how kind you were to me. My child deserves better. Our child. Even if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I want our child safe and away from this shithole. Will you save me?
Indeed. Perhaps we should inform the Kensos.
Quit bothering the guests, look here. These jugs will not deliver themselves.
Help me, please.
Quickly, Thawa.
The night has taken an unusual turn. I don't, but I do tend to forget some things when I'm drunk. Still, I find it hard to believe I'd forget the mother of my own child. Maybe, well, not entirely. Times like these, I wish Calida were here. That woman has a knack for spotting a lie. I don't know what to make of any of this. I'll have to think. Thank you, my friend. That means a lot. You go. I suddenly have much to think about.
Good, you're here. Let us begin. First, tell me what you thought about my question. Certainly, I wanted you to think about the meaning of life. Yours or mine, it doesn't matter. What do you think the meaning of life is? The purpose of it? Isn't that a bit pointless? Do we live to live? A point. Perhaps not. But a reason is what everything must have. Everything is the consequence of another thing. To understand reasons, we must understand causes. We must know the root cause of all there is and all there will ever be, the stones of which the universe is made, or what we call the first principle. In a way, those may be the first principles of fighting. Your distance and your stance change based on your tools and foes, but they are common elements to all fighting. Yet logic and observation dictates there must be. No one really knows what the first principle is, but thinking about it is the first step in finding one's purpose. Opinions are divided. Some say the first principle is water. Others say it's wind, fire, or earth. What do you think the first principle might be? And that is what Empedocles says. He believes any or all of those can be the answer. It depends on the situation or person. But I believe that to be a non-answer. Right is defined by the existence of wrong. Right is the absence of wrong. If everything is right, then nothing is right, for nothing is wrong. Do not think of it as water itself. Anaximandros says the first principle is fluid and water-like. It is the indeterminate boundless. He calls it the realm of the infinite, which is in eternal motion. When things exist, they become finite. But when they cease to exist, they go back to the water of infinity. That which you haven't seen yet may still exist. After all, we have already seen lands you hadn't seen before. Were they not real until we visited? Ah, it is not about strength. Anaximenes believes the wind is the soul of the world, because it is the wind that makes us breathe and live. He also posits that all other elements are derived from air. Fire happens when wind blows too fast, yet water happens when the air is too slow. Maybe. I don't think a rock has breath, though. It's more about the inherent movement of fire than the destructive force thereof. Heraclitus says fire is change. And as such, the only thing that is always the same. Everything changes. Nothing ever is. We are all in the process of becoming, and never stop. Change is the only common element in the world. It doesn't, but it means fire is in everything. Or maybe nothing comes out of anything. Parmenides said, nothing can ever be seen in the process of becoming. Things always just are. A process of change is just a trick of our senses. At any given moment, things are stationary. Maybe. But when you're running from one city to another, you have to first run half the distance, and then you have to run half of that. Who knows? Thinking about the first principle is a way of thinking about the world. And only by knowing the world clearly can you know yourself. Most certainly, but that hardly matters until you know what you're fighting for. Only then you can trust your actions. Only then can you be a good man. Only then can you be free. Are you, though? A man who is not allowed to do what he wants. Can such a man be truly free? Because you're free to look anywhere, but you do not know where to begin. Sometimes an abundance of freedom can be as restricting as the lack thereof. You may pursue your own happiness, but when it comes at the cost of someone else's, can you be called a good man? True. Yet perhaps there is a commonality to all forms of happiness. Happiness is the absence of misery. If you do not know how to make people happy, then you can try to eliminate misery. By doing that, you can be a good man. You can try. And the Bestia Tabat I know excels at overcoming difficult obstacles. It is your goal in life, Bestia. Just like your sister, you are partly stuck in the realm of ideas. You will not be complete until you find her, or find her not. You are a child, Bestia. No one will hold you to account for what you thought back then. It is only natural. Who knows who Serwa your sister is now? Do you want me to be honest? What matters is not if you will find her, but what you will do if you find her. Then I have succeeded as Magister. I can only ask the right questions. It is you who should find the answers.
I see him. By fire. Talking to his friend.
Let's find a way to let him down easy.
You came. And you have brought Deanera.
Calidar is showing me around. This city is big. Bigger than I thought. We have seen many dresses. Some of them actually pink.
This is your home, Yulia Calida. No one can take it from you.
What is this place? Why are you here always, Tabat? A place for your war god? Why do you have so many gods? People are difficult enough. Gods are worse.
You speak truth. Perhaps our souls are lonely, and that's why we need many gods.
There! Stop right there! You're coming with us!
Please, do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Do you know these Landakai?
They told me you were back in the city. I did not believe it. I do not know what kind of god possessed you, for I do not know which of these gods is more foolish.
Mars watches over us here. Mind your words.
You are a criminal. You are a disgrace to our family. Because of what you've done, we all will be infamous. Only I can speak for our family now.
Kill whom?
Accident. It was an accident. When you drop a jug of water and it shatters, that is an accident. When you push your own husband down the stairs and shatter his skull, well, I believe they call that murder. Father is dead. I think he died of grief because his only daughter acts as if she's a man. Your tongue is as sharp as your blade. Indeed, I don't like playing with swords and bows, but at least I don't murder innocent men.
Arrested? For what?
She killed a man.
I kill men all the time. When they deserve it.
Rome does not look kindly on women who kill men, regardless of how much the man deserved it.
Deserved? I didn't realize marriage was a capital offense. He was your husband. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and you're still not allowed to kill him. Yulia, please. I do not want to see you hurt. Surrender peacefully.
That sounds like a threat, little man. Threatening the wrong person can get you killed.
What? Are you her gladiator lover or something? What do you mean?
Usually, what I say.
Do you think you're in a position to threaten me?
What did I say, little man?
Don't hurt him too badly, guys.
Don't worry, we won't.
We will just teach him a lesson he will not soon forget.
Let's get this over with.
Curse this mess! Aulus, you fool!
He will be fine. More guards may be coming. It is time to leave now.
Is everything well, dear? They told me Lucullus is your patronus now. That means our family reputation will be restored.
That and more.
Lucius, Liliana. It's so good to see you again, Mother. And my sister is back.
Isn't that a beautiful sight? Legally speaking, I am the patriarch of your family now. But you are the real head of the household. The well-being of it is your primary concern. The villa is yours. All of your rights are restored. Congratulations.
I don't know how we can ever repay you, Lucius.
There's no need to repay anything. You of all people should know that, Claudiana. This was not a transaction. I'll keep that in mind.
Is that it? But what if
Don't worry, Claudiana. No one can harm your family as long as I am alive. Everything will be fine.